Good evening and welcome. Tonight's top story is about President Donald Trump and his connection to the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. For months, Trump has been pushing back against questions about the Epstein files, but new documents released by Congress are bringing the scandal back into the spotlight. Let's start with what happened today. The House Oversight Committee, which is investigating Epstein's estate, released new evidence. Among the documents is a letter that Donald Trump allegedly wrote for Epstein's 50th birthday. The letter, according to reports, included a risque or rude drawing. After this became public, Trump dismissed the story. He called it, in his own words, a dead issue. In other words, Trump says the matter is closed and people should move on. But the Oversight Committee does not agree. They say the story is far from over. The birthday letter is not the only piece of evidence that has come out. Investigators also found a photo showing Epstein holding a giant check. According to the evidence, the check was supposedly from Donald Trump. Epstein claimed that he got this money in return for selling what he called a fully depreciated woman. Reports say this woman was in her 20s at the time. The language is shocking. To describe a woman in such a way shows how Epstein and his circle treated people as objects. And this is part of why the story is not going away. Democrats on the Oversight Committee say they are just getting started. Even a few Republicans have agreed that more answers are needed. Congressman Robert Garcia of California, who is a ranking member on the committee, said clearly, to Donald Trump, "This issue is not dead. It's not a hoax. We are just beginning." Garcia explained that the committee is now talking with victims and reviewing more material from Epstein's estate. They also plan to visit New York this week to look at the original documents. He says it is important to check what parts of the files are redacted or blacked out to make sure that nothing important is being hidden. One of the strongest points Garcia made is about the victims. He said that more than 1,000 women and girls were abused in Epstein's network. Many were minors at the time. Some survivors have spoken up, but many are still afraid. Why? Because the men involved were powerful, wealthy, and influential. These women fear that if they name names or share details, they could face threats or lose their safety. Garcia said the committee is working carefully and respectfully with survivors. He said justice for these women is the top goal. Now, what does the public think? A recent Quinnipiac poll gives us some answers. The poll found that 7 out of 10 Americans are following the Epstein files story closely, and 73%, nearly 3/4 of the people asked, believe the U.S. Department of Justice has not been open or transparent in how it is handling the case. This shows that the American people are not ignoring the story. In fact, many want more information and more honesty. Still, not everyone agrees. Some Republicans, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, have dismissed the scandal. They say it is a hoax or that the letter was not really written by Trump. Congressman Garcia called those statements blatant lies. He also accused Republicans of protecting Trump and other powerful men who may have been connected to Epstein. He argued that this is part of a larger cover-up, possibly even involving the White House. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal has played a big role in reporting on this story. They were among the first to publish details of Trump's birthday message to Epstein. Trump has tried to push back, even threatening lawsuits, but the Journal has compared signatures and reported that the card is very likely real. Garcia praised the Wall Street Journal for its fearless reporting. He said the media has helped bring the truth forward and has pushed the committee to dig deeper. So, what happens now? The Oversight Committee says it will keep pushing. They want bank records, financial statements, and more evidence from the Department of Justice. They have already forced a subpoena to get Epstein's estate documents. Garcia also said they may call key figures, like former Labor Secretary Alex Acosta, to testify. He made it clear, no stone will be left unturned. To sum it up, Donald Trump says, The Epstein files are a dead issue, but new documents, strong words from the Oversight Committee, and public interest show that the story is far from over. The Epstein scandal has always been about more than one man. Jeffrey Epstein built a network of powerful friends, including politicians, businessmen, and celebrities. Many of those relationships are still not fully understood. When Donald Trump calls the scandal a dead issue, it is a political strategy. By downplaying the story, he hopes to convince the public to move on. But the release of new evidence makes that difficult. For investigators, the big challenge is transparency. The Department of Justice has been accused of holding back information. Survivors and the public want the full truth, but so far, only parts of the files have been revealed. The Oversight Committee's work could change that if they are able to force more documents into the open. Politically, this could grow into a major problem. For Democrats, pushing the Epstein files investigation allows them to highlight issues of corruption, abuse, and cover-ups. For Republicans, it creates a difficult choice: protect Trump or join the call for truth. The victims are at the center of this story. Many were young women, even children, when the abuse happened. They deserve justice, and they deserve to know that powerful men cannot escape responsibility simply because of money or influence. In the coming weeks, the Oversight Committee will likely reveal more names, more documents, and more evidence. This will test the political system, the justice system, and the media. The real question is not just what Donald Trump wrote in a birthday card, but whether America can finally face the full truth about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and who helped him along the way. For now, one thing is clear. Whatever Trump says, the Epstein files are not dead. In fact, the story is only getting louder.